All right, Cameron, welcome in. Ryan Tringer for your Class A Pro. I'm recording. Good to have you, buddy. Looking forward to work today. All right, so what do we got? Oh, wow, you have a more linear pressure trace. That's correct. This is what we're looking for. And that's exciting because, basically there's this guy named Scott Hamilton out of the South, and he coaches like 25 tour players. And his tour players generally have this pressure trace, which is straight across the back of the ball of foot at 57% forward with the balance. And so, but look how straight across it goes. And then it always goes off to the heel at the end. And so this trace, this is getting way better because you can see it's much straighter. You are more on your heels, though, than they are. Do you see how we see more of the back of your foot? Where the tour player, they put it more on the pad part of the foot. Are you with me? Yes. So the part that's like the palm of your hand for your foot, that's what we get on more. But if they're on the back of the ball of the foot, that's where the most pressure is here. It looks to me like they're not so much on the front, like toward the toes. Are you with me? Okay. So this one, you're just a little bit on your heels. Okay, so then let's take a look here. Arm position. Good. Let's see. V's the grip. Right hand's good. Left hand still is not considered to be a neutral grip. It's you have a weaker left hand here. The V is like there, right? So if you're leaking them right, that's a reason potentially. This one, you were able to close the face 8 degrees, but you did swing over the top. This path number is supposed to be 2 to 5 degrees inside out. If you come over here with me, this is the tour average, club path, and club face, right? I'm going to send you a picture of this. This is very important. 1 second here. All right. Look, club head path, where's it supposed to be?
5 degrees.
Where? Inside out, that way, right? Club face angle, 1 to 2.5 closed or left to get the draw. So we're trying to start it to the right and bring it back to the left. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. And so this last one, you did what's called a pull draw because you started it left and it curved left, even though the path was 0, which is better. You're doing better with your path because remember the path used to be over the top. So 0 means like you're swinging straight. But we want to swing out that way. We want to start the ball. Are you with me? We want to start the ball to the right. You'll see me when I golf. Every shot I'm trying to start it to the right. It's way better to golf that way, feeling like you're swinging out toward right field or to the right side of the hole or the right side of the fairway. And so you just have to get more of that based on these numbers. And in terms of the distance, I had it on driver mode. So let's see. It would have gone about 170, 83 mile an hour club speed, 109 ball speed. So pretty good. Tour average is 120 ball speed. So, but the big thing here is the inside out, not enough. Okay, so now let's take a look and let's see what happens from here. So we put the lines on the screen. And then here's what's kind of fun. Like, as you see this round, 8 out of 9 greens in regulation. The round before, like I told you, 8 out of 9 greens in regulation. So that's 16 greens in regulation in 18 holes, right? And so that's why I shot. So every time I missed the green, I got up and down, saved par, and then I made birdies on the green, right? And so you have to be tracking your greens in regulation. Okay, this is so important because greens in regulation correlate to your score. Okay, so if you aren't managing how many greens in regulation, then you're really not controlling your score, I would say. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to hit 18 greens in regulation every time I tee it up. I'm not trying to have the longest drive. I'm not trying to hit it close to a pin that's near the water. I'm trying to hit the center of the green 18 times. You know what I mean? Because my stats tell me the truth. My putting average is 1.8 putts per green. So most of the time, I either 2 putt or 1 putt. And I do have 3 putts, but clearly I have more 1 putts than 3 putts. So I'm 1.8. Where if I miss the green, like yesterday, if I missed the green, I would, because I shot even par at San Clemente yesterday with 1 eagle and 2 bogeys. The 2 bogeys, I missed the green, and then I did not get up and down twice for bogey. So I basically, didn't save my par. It said my up and down percentage was like 33%. So like 1 out of 3, I'll get up and down. Which is, so if I'm off the green, I'm like in danger of bogey. But if I'm on the green, then and so the whole thing is get it on the green in regulation. If you want to shoot under 80, you need 12 greens in regulation because then you have 12 pars and you had 6 holes that you missed the green, but you got it on the green, and you didn't make the putt. You just got out of there with your 2-putt bogey. So you had 6 bogeys and 12 pars, which is 78, you know what I mean, to break 80. And so you have to target greens in regulation and track them. And as you see, when we track them, what do? We put a check mark in the corner. You see it?
Yeah.
Dude, those little check marks are little carrots. They're like little hits of dopamine. Your stomach feels warm and fuzzy. You're like, all right, good, I got the green. If I miss the green on the next hole, my brain's like, I didn't get a check mark, and I'm like, I need to get this ball on the green. And so I don't even care where the pin is, because I just need to get this ball on the green so I can get a check mark, because I know how it affects my score. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's continue on here. I think it's just nice to know that. You need to know that the objective here is to develop a swing that gets greens and fairways and greens. Because if you're not in the fairway now and you're behind the trees, then what? You can't get to the green. You know what I mean? And so you need 18 unobstructed views of the green, and then you need to try to hit as many of those onto the green as possible, right? If you're getting behind trees and you're putting yourself in a bad spot off the tee, and that's why you're missing the green, you have to realize that. So then okay, I'm working on getting it in the fairway. You know what I mean? A lot of people get twisted and they're like trying to cut corners and try to go for the longest drive, and they're missing fairways. And if you're not in the fairway, it's hard to hit the green. All right, let's take a look at this here. And that's really the secret to my success, Cameron, with getting people to score low. I get them to hit the green in regulation, and I convince people to stop hitting at the pin. I rarely hit at the pin. Actually, in one of these rounds, let me share this. On the 16th hole, the pin was in the front, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking at my GPS, and my student says, oh, it's 122 to the pin. And I said, I don't care. And he said, why? I said, it's a front pin, and it's an elevated green. That's like a sucker pin. Most people are going to leave it short all day there if they go at the pin. I'm trying to hit it to the middle of the green, so I'm going to hit it for 132 yards. And so I get up there, hit my 132 shot, and end up mishitting it and just making it onto the front of the green, pin high. But I was trying to hit it past the pin in the center of the green, but I didn't hit it solid. And this is why we aim for the center, because of things like this. And so I still was able to get a check mark, and I almost made the putt, but it was a tap in par. All right, so in the backswing, number 1 here, what do we got to do? Look at the pressure. So you're too far, you're getting too far out to the right side. That's your first error. This plane is not too bad, but you're swaying out, and then look, you're getting onto your heel a little bit too much. We don't want to be on the right heel. We want to be on the balls of the feet. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Right? So if we go back to my video over here, all right, and where is it? It's right here. One more. There it is. So look, at the top of the swing, what we got to get, our first objective here, is we have to get you 50-50 with your pressure and on the balls of your feet. Look, do you see this?
Yeah.
So I'm not onto my heels at all. I'm on the balls of my feet, okay? And so that's our first thing that goes on, because you go to your heel, that pulls your head up on this side. So what happens is, see, there's where your nose started, and it goes up that way. See how it went that way?
Yeah.
Because you're going too far to that heel on the backswing. And instead, we should have the center of gravity over the ball in the middle here, from rotating around the axis and then keeping the pressure while we're there in the balls of foot area over here in the front. And so, okay, so then coming down, we got to get the plane. Look at this. The plane, you see where it's going? You're going over the top. Now remember, the plane is supposed to always go where? Straight back and inside out. All the players that are good, that they're doing that. Look at this. Here we go. Look, straight back. And then inside out. You see this? And this is what they all do. Scheffler does, Rory does. They're all doing this, as you'll see here in a moment. Look, same thing, up and under, right? And this is what they're doing, all of them. So we got to get the plane. We got to get that plane still a little bit better. So that's why the ball hit left. Now see where the target line is. The target line is right here on the screen, and so this was hit over here on this side. You see it?
Yeah.
Now remember, we need the ball to do what? We need the ball to hit on that side of the net. Are you with me?
Yes.
Because we're trying to hit this shot shape. Are you with me?
Yes.
And how we're doing that is we're trying to swing the club out that way while supinating our wrist this way to be able to close the face to get it to draw back. And so what we're going to work on right now is we're going to first get this 50-50 coil on the balls of your feet and then work on starting the ball to the right better. You are shifting forward well. Look at this. This is why you're hitting the ball pretty good. Look, at impact, you're 85% on the left and you got to the left side and you got into, as I call it, the reverse K impact. So you're on this left side nice. This is a good thing that you're doing. Okay. And you are doing your wrist better than before. Look, that left glove hand's down to the ground like this. That's correct also. So that part, very good. And then look, you didn't flip it. The face was stable. So really, the supination and the club face has gotten better, which is probably why you feel like you're hitting it a little bit better. But we got to work more on the body position, the balance, and the swing path still.